And so all this stuff is going down with Trump and Musk. And if you recall, look, here's the deal. Musk and Trump, one of the biggest, and I don't know, one of the biggest things that they always like to talk about was the discrepancy between the databases between like the IRS and the Department of Homeland Security, right? So these they start putting these seeds in your brain. They're like, there's a database issue and they have a hard time talking to each other. So hear us out. So hear me out, brother. What we should do, the party that is anti-big government and centralization of government says what we should do is consolidate our databases and create a centralized database of all American citizens. And not only that, the largest donator to the vice president's campaign, we're going to use his company. We're going to use his company. And since you are just a blind Trump supporter, you'll support it no matter what. Right. Yeah. What is going on? So if you guys haven't heard, there's Palantir is going to apparently, this is still in talks. We'll have to see where it goes. To create a vast federal data platform tying together millions of Americans' private records and stock jumps. I use the India Times because I don't even know where to find a really good synopsis of this without having an ideological slant on it. But we're just going to have to go into it, right? Palantir Technologies is back in the spotlight after securing a major federal contract. So there is a contract here that could reshape how the U.S. government uses data. Under the new agreement backed by the Trump administration, Palantir will build a vast centralized data platform that connects sensitive records from across key agencies, including the IRS, Social Security, immigration databases, and more. And of course, this is the way they're going to sell it to you. As a conservative, they're going to say, well, this is going to help get rid of all of the illegal immigrants. And look, I think if you're here illegally, especially if you're committing crime, you should be deported. But don't fearmonger me to take away my privacy and my freedoms. Don't do it. Because I see it and I don't like it. Okay? Like, there's a huge difference between, you don't have to, I get it. There's always a balance between security and freedom. That's something that we're always balancing out, right? That is just something that we will never perfectly balance, and I understand that. But once it goes into the realm of intentionally putting fear into the public, like the left did with the vaccine and the right is doing with immigration, to take away rights that we previously held, that is when I have an issue. Okay? And there's more to this, right? It's so crazy. We'll go through the article, okay? So it's powered by Palantir's Gotham software, which if you wanted to talk about dystopian advertising, dear Lord, have you guys looked at their Gotham Europa crap? It implements, so here's the page for you guys that are just listening, but it implements machine learning for prediction. And it also is powered by AI as well. So we will have a database system of the American public that utilizes both machine learning and AI to predict behavior effectively. Okay. It's designed to analyze behavioral patterns in real time, flag potential threats, and support decisions around public safety and fraud detection. The stock market liked what it saw. Of course it did, because that's all we care about is how much the stock market is going up. Even though anybody under the age of 35 has no fucking stock. But, okay. It is what it is, right? And Palantir shares jumped 5.38% after the announcement and are now trading over 150% higher compared to post-election 2024 levels. But behind the stock surge, there's a deeper story about privacy, AI surveillance, and what it means when one tech firm gets the keys to America's data. Palantir isn't just improving old databases, it's building what some experts are calling the most expansive civilian surveillance infrastructure in U.S. history. Instead of scattered files and spreadsheets, the platform will use real-time data integration and artificial intelligence to profile behavior, detect fraud, and identify individuals or patterns deemed risky by the system. At the core of the project is Palantir's Gotham software, already used by defense and intelligence agencies. Gotham will now be used on the domestic front. It doesn't just track information, it makes judgments. It could influence everything from how benefits are distributed to who gets flagged for closer scrutiny by the law enforcement or immigration officers. I'm not comfortable with it. Yeah, it is. It's very Minority Report-y, right? And maybe they do just make these movies to like kind of freak you out, but also at the same time put that little seed, plant that seed in your head of like, this is coming, you know. It is what it is, you know? And the thing is like, I grew up in a conservative household, very conservative household. I was homeschooled, grew up in Texas. And those same people I grew up with, where it was very common to hear anti-Fed rhetoric, you know, surrounding things like Ruby Ridge and Waco and etc. Those same people are now defending a centralized database system with AI predictors in it that will monitor the citizens. And I don't understand why we keep wholeheartedly backing one party with everything they do without putting anything into question. And the other thing that gets scary is in the big beautiful bill, which I hope it gets removed, but we'll have to see, they put a clause in there that says states will be unable to regulate against AI. And then I listened to JD Vance on Theo Vaughn, and JD Vance said in regard to this, dumbest shit ever, but he said that was in particular to, you know, stop California from using it to censor speech or whatever. But okay, look, I'm a states' rights guy. And we're already seeing it right now. It functions as intended. California puts crazy laws in place. People leave California and come to Texas. If people want to be gay and do weed and mushrooms, they move up to Washington. Okay, everybody can move to a state with policies that they agree with, which is the way it was supposed to function in the first place. So you can tell me, well, we're trying, as soon as a government official says we're trying to prevent a state from doing something we don't agree with, I stop supporting that politician. Anytime a politician tells me that they want to stop the state from, and I don't care if I agree or disagree with that state's policies, what I have a problem with is when the federal government tries to dictate what a state does. But I also don't believe that that is the purpose. It seems awfully ironic to me that you would put that policy to prevent states from regulating AI in at the same time that you're deploying this database. Does that make sense? And no, there's no updates for the BC250. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. If you would like to see more from this particular episode, take a look up here. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support me directly, you can go to sonofatech.locals.com and become a member. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.